after you guys have quelled this invasion.
Is there any like notable body salute? Because I'm pretty sure we just fought normal orcs, right?
Yeah, it was just like orcs,
Okay.
so they're all gonna have like low quality, like
Okay.
short swords or clubs, just like random weapons and crappy armor.
None with
Like townspeople
probably no
might grab
gold
it.
or anything.
Yeah, not really. I
Okay,
mean, townspeople probably grab that stuff just to like use it for
that's
scrap
fine.
and hope that they can make their items out
Uh, what was the name of our leader? God damn it. Because she's right there and are fighting right near us, right?
Yeah, she
Oh,
was like slightly off to the side, so she was like in a slightly different area, but I mean, like she was at the south wall with you guys.
yes. I guess I would walk up to or go to find her to see if there's anything else we need to do to like secure the city before we venture off in any other way.
Okay.
Why am
Yeah, Graham, I
oh,
sent you a message. I
oh,
don't know if you
okay.
want to look at that real quick.
Sure, I don't know what's going on, so yeah, sure.
Okay. So what is everybody else doing? If so, Malon's kind of proposing to go meet up with Vanya.
Vanya, that's the name.
Vanya. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, I also agree. So all the combat's over? I thought we were doing more fighting.
No, you guys had just finished it up.
Oh. Somebody want to trade me that armor?
I will after we're done with talking to making sure everything's done.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So I guess Scatgram was still connecting when I was kind of doing a quick recap. So basically, what happened last time is you were here when they fought Afanasi. After that, everybody decided to run south in order to help that front because it was losing the worst. And then there were basically kind of a few different fights going on, but it was chaos down there. Vanya, the two, and then the Steelhide who's still alive, and then the two humans were all fighting on another front, kind of like you guys were. So that's kind of what happened there, and then you guys eventually were able to take them all out and just basically quell the invasion. So at this point, I mean, people are kind of wrapping up, killing whatever's orcs are left. But right now, the orcs are so outnumbered that it's not really worth the fight. So I'm just trying to figure out what you were doing, Scatgram, during this since you weren't here.
I had not a clue.
And so, I'm basically I know that you had another mission, and so I didn't know if you wanted to go over to Vanya and help them, or if your plan would have been to just like say you were running around town or whatever.
Just whatever. I don't know at this point.
Okay. All right. So you guys head over to Vanya. She just kind of looks at you all and she's like, "You all look a little worse for wear, but I do appreciate your help." And you see that all of her guards, the Steelhide and Thalia and Thad are two humans are flanking her per usual. And she just kind of thanks you guys all, and is like, "Well, if you guys, I know you guys have already done plenty, but if you can help us round up the dead and make sure they get identified and aren't given a proper burial. Um, at this point, I think we're just kind of in the cleanup stage of this invasion.
Do you have a cart we can use?
Uh, she kind of she thinks about it for a minute and is just like, I'm sure there are carts around town. I mean, I don't have anything on me right now, but you may be able to talk to one of the vendors. They may be able to give you a cart. I mean, anything that you guys can use in general to help gather the bodies or the injured is much appreciated.
Sounds like
We can
should
do
use the
that.
old borrow without asking and just return, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, and all the chaos there, I gotta miss it anyways, right?
I mean, we're bringing it back, so
Yeah, he's bringing sexy back.
been doing that this whole time, baby. Ice, ice.
Okay.
Cole, as we're gathering up bodies and kind of, putting them in the cart or dragging them to wherever, I'll try to just use my knowledge of religion stuff to identify any markings, any religious insignia and stuff, and try to do a quick, appropriate prayer to whatever deity is kind of their main one for it. Some sort of version of like last rites or something over as many of them as I can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you know enough that you can identify some of them. Like, obviously, there's some obscure ones and different things, but I mean, as you start to notice who it is, you kind of do a quick prayer once you're able to identify what god they pray to.
We go looking around for a cart.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you guys, like I said, you guys find one. I mean,
Are
even if
we?
you talk.
Yeah. Are we like trying to bury them, or is there like a pyre to like cremate them?
I mean, at this point, Vanya just is basically asking you guys to like help gather them all up, so that way family members can identify them and help identify them.
Hello
and then,
there.
Get the opportunity to say their last goodbye to them, etc. And then they'll figure out what they're going to do with the mass number of dead. I mean, there are quite a few that are dead based on the scale of the invasion. But at this point, like, I mean, you guys are more or less like wrapping up this fight, and like, there's not any. It's kind of like whatever you guys want to do, you can at this point. I mean, because there's not anything specific that needs to be done in regards to this fight.
I want to take the cart around and yell, "Bring out your dead!"
I don't think that's appropriate.
They don't get the reference.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. Oof.
People are really off put by this.
That was not a good persuasion.
As you like start walking around, I mean, they're kind of, they're kind of like looking at you and just like read the room, and they're very very off put by this.
Jokes on them. I don't know how to read.
Has Drew grouped back up with us?
I mean, he's kind of like, where he's at, so you guys could have went and got him. I mean, he went down.
Oh no, you can stay there for right now, as long as it's like he's not like
I mean,
missing.
No. He went down towards the docks with the other people who were getting ready to leave if things got bad, like all the women, children type of thing.
The women, children. You know what? You know what? What Droop is?
Or Drew, yeah, Drew. Sorry. I mean, maybe that's where Scatgram went to. Is he ran down there to check on Drew?
Oh, how nice is Scatgram.
So you guys help. You guys help pick up the dead, gather them up. I mean, people. Obviously, it's a very somber time in the town. People are trying to identify their loved ones or finding their loved ones. There are a few who are, obviously ecstatic that their loved ones lived. And you see like some tears of joy, things of that nature.
A few that are rather ecstatic that their partners are dead. That's weird.
And so, but I mean, it's getting late as the night goes on. I mean, it's getting to be 9 or 10. I mean, this started in the early evening. The invasion overall.
If it's starting to get night and we're kind of like wrapping up, picking up bodies at least for the day, can we head to the inn that we have free stay at?
Yeah, the night rest.
Yes, and then I guess if we're able to, I'd like to sit down with everyone because I know at least Morning Lord wants the armor I have, so I'm gonna give that to him while we're sitting there.
Nice.
It's not identified. All we know is that it's +1 armor. So heads up.
I have an identify spell.
And I'm also going to mention I have a longsword that also needs identifying if anyone has time.
I do not
yeah,
have that.
I can try that as a ritual.
It says I also got a couple potions. Do I also need to find out what those are?
I don't think so. Let me look it up. Sorry, I forgot everything. I thought I meant over the last couple weeks. I forgot what I had given you. I don't think you have to.
There's health.
Like, I think you'll know. Like, I think you'll end up knowing what they are. But
Okay. So Cole's casting his ritual on how about a round of drinks, everyone? Today's been quite a fierce day. I'm gonna see if the innkeeper will bring us a round of drinks.
I'll roll a d20 first for identify since it's not on my list.
yeah, go ahead.
Nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to cast it. I mean, you've casted enough that even without your father's powers, you kind of know how to do it. Because you're kind of you've noticed that you have other abilities beyond that. So,
yeah.
So now you will not have to make checks on identify.
Okay, cool.
Man, what a roll.
Yeah, that's fortunate. What does the ritual tell me?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find exactly where all this stuff is. That
It tells you you need to ritual longer.
Oh man, they went.
And like all this stuff came off of Athanasi, right?
Yeah,
I think
everything
so.
I have is off Asanasi. I think Scatgram has a spear and
Yeah. Okay.
um
So I believe you used one, but there were 2 potions of flying and then a potion of greater healing.
so one potion probably of flying and one potion of greater healing.
Yeah, because you used actually
He used one.
it was
didn't
just it was just two potions of flying because you used one to get on to roofs
he? No, I
last time.
didn't. I used my ability to fly.
I thought you ended up drinking one so that way you could move as much as you wanted.
No.
Okay. Either way, he had used the greater potion, but it's two potions of flying. You're able to get them,
Okay.
able to identify those.
Potions of.
Um, the plate armor, you know, after like inspecting it and looking at it, it's just a like silver dragon plate. It's a suit of +1 plate armor made by elves of a manufacturer. It grants resistance against cold, fire, and poison damage to the wearer. And it can cast water breathing once per day on the wearer.
Oh damn!
Is this like custom item?
I believe it is. Let me see if I can find it. I was trying to find it last time, and I couldn't find it. While I'm looking for that, though, you guys are all gathered around. They bring you drinks. What else?
Food. I'll order some food, some like a warm like stew in a bread bowl or something.
Okay. Yeah, she brings you all food and drinks.
Yo, oh, yo, oh.
So it's kind of lucky that we were even able to make it here in time, wasn't it?
I think we yeah, I think things worked out as well as they could be asked for in the end. And I like to think that we made a difference here. That we made it, you know, we saved some lives today somehow. And but if nothing else, we paid our debt to the Lord's Alliance and got to the bottom of whatever that mystery is. I'm sure they'll have no shortage of work for us and demands of us, but at least we've made that impact.
Potion of flying is 10 times better than my wings. Look at Mounds and look at Cole and go, hey Cole, you see I got wings now too?
Looking good.
Pretty dragon wings, you know.
That's pretty
Not
awesome.
angelic like yours, but you know.
Well, we'll have to see after I sleek you if that's even going to be an option for me. You might need to carry me a little bit. But,
Don't worry, I can carry and still move pretty well. So what, like half speed? I can still move. Yeah, I move pretty good still.
all right. I look forward to it.
There's the armor in the chat. I'll make a custom item for it later.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it's not a real thing. I thought it was.
It reminds me of my time when I was a part of the Seven Sin Slayers.
What did the 7 Sin Slayers do?
There was a village that needed protection from a roving gang of bandits that was pillaging their crops and extorting the villagers for money. So I and 6 other holy people, 4 paladins and 2 clerics, went to the town to help fortify the village before the bandit attacked. I'm gonna take a drink of my alcoholic beverage and I stare off into the distance. I was the only one that made it back that day. Or was
Sorry
it
to
2
hear that.
people? Oh, I was one of 3 that made it back that day.
Sounds made up.
Luckily, we all made it back, all 6 of us. So, this time around, we were a little bit more lucky or prepared. I don't know. And I finished my drink.
Pound's gonna pull out the other long sword that he has and the new one he has and goes, "Now I got 2 that I don't use, baby."
Maybe you should sell some of those extra
No.
long swords.
He puts them away and hides them from you. No.
Maybe one day we'll have a headquarters or a stronghold, and you can keep them over a mantle place.
Ah, sounds wonderful.
Chateau de Malone.
Can you identify the sword?
Certainly. I'll just need a few minutes, and Cole's going to pick up his bread bowl and the sword and excuse himself to a further corner, kind of alone, and spend a little bit of time doing the ritual as he finishes his dinner.
Melon leans over to Scatgrab and goes, "Do you think the bread bowl is needed, or is that just an option?"
Might as well just put it in the mug.
Didn't we all get bread bowls?
They should bring you food. If you ask for food, she should
I'm,
bring you.
I'm just as he like left with the bread bowl and the sword to do his ritual.
I'm hungry. I just got out of a battle.
I don't blame you. It's just funny. Like,
It's a detail that's weirdly important to me as a player. Cole's just like, he finishes his stew and is just like ripping off chunks of bread and munching them and he waves his hands over it and does a ritual.
It's very light and airy bread. I have good yeast.
They didn't overprove it. Good.
probably
That
the
reminds
old
me of this
bread.
time I was at a saloon talking about this yeast.
Oh, was it a lot like today?
No, I had some more. Started looking around. What do you guys call them? Wenches and ladies of,
Ill repute.
well, if you want to be rude about it, they were beautiful women, but they just happened to have a lot of yeast once in a while.
Are you talking about a brothel?
Is that what they're called?
Were you playing blackjack?
Why would he be playing blackjack at the brothel?
Actually, that's very popular to be playing cards at a brothel, but okay.
Blackjack and hookers.
I don't know, man. I don't think it was his own establishment. They probably didn't have blackjack and hookers.
Scagger, maybe you should make your own establishment.
Turn that off.
Where is that noise coming from? It sounds ominous. Is there another
Party.
fight?
Yeah.
Is there another fight brewing on the horizon?
Why do you hear like
long-
random music in your head when you fight?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is where that music's coming from. So our next adventure is space.
That is the final frontier.
Sweet.
More
Cole,
she-
you are looking at that sword and
Yeah.
kind of inspecting it. You cast your ritual on it. You can tell it's magical, but also with your inspecting, you can tell that it's a packed weapon. Like it doesn't really have any special powers or abilities as is. You just know that and you recognize the markings on it to be from your father. And so you can tell that Afanasi was also um, dedicated to your father as a warlock.
Womp womp.
I'll take the sword back and say after about 5 minutes, well before the ritual's complete, I'll notice those carvings and Thintrix. I'll bring it back and toss it on the table. Be like, I don't need to complete the ritual. It's pretty straightforward. This sword is a symbol of Ophanasi's pact. He's a warlock. He has a connection to some sort of higher being.
Malon's gonna pick it up as soon as he says connection to higher being, pull it out of his sheep and tap on it and go, "Hello, hello."
I'll
Yeah.
use the spider staff and like parry it out of your hands. I wouldn't be recommend doing that. The sword is bound to my father.
Daddy's sword.
And Afanasi apparently was one of his acolytes, or had made a hex blade pact with him of some kind. Frankly, I wouldn't trust or recommend using that sword, and frankly, I think I'd prefer to dispose of it if it were up to me. It's not up to me; it's your guys' sword, and but I think that sword's going to bring more danger than it's going to protect us from.
Do you think?
It also.
Do you think we could smelt it down and make something different out of it, or is the
I think
metal
that would.
tainted?
I think it would impede the pact. It's not tainted. In fact, you bring it to the right shrine, and they'd say it's divine. But
So you're saying I have a divine daddy sword?
if you want to put
Oh,
it that
daddy.
way, what I'm saying is that is a sword that is bound to a very powerful entity that specifically has it out for me right now, and I believe for us in general. Number two, if you don't know much about my father, he he belongs to the realm of Ilmater, the god. His name is Keldranor. You can see the inscriptions right here, right above the cross guard, and the realm of Ilmater and Keldranor in particular is that of suffering. Um, and Troyals. It's somebody that you're supposed to be able to pray to when you're going through a hard time, a famine, um, hard labor, an act of penance, or some difficult trial to give you strength to come through it. It's supposed to be purifying to you, but it's also um, a way for the gods to dismiss our suffering and the suffering that they inflict on us. Um, it's a god of obedience, um, and patience, and they don't look too kindly on adventurers and aren't looking too kindly on me. So, um, like I said, I don't recommend making use of this sword. I would recommend sticking it somewhere where you don't need to touch it, you don't need to deal with it, and you forget it
Malin
doesn't
grabs
exist.
it, puts it next to the other long sword. No problem. Don't use that one either.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But what you're saying is, technically, you could use a sword to reach out to one of these gods and ask them for guidance and help, right?
I suppose, yeah. If you can forge a connection with them, you could. You could even sell your soul to it. You could ask for power in exchange for tasks, but um, they set the terms for that, and I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been harder for me to do my magic recently, and that's because I broke my pact. I disobeyed, um, and they only let you disobey so much before they start season you up, and it hurts. It truly hurts to feel that distance, to feel that power draining from you. So I don't recommend getting into their employ if you can avoid it. And I think that the fact that
I just sit there and kind of rub my fingers against my chin as I'm looking at the sword sitting there next to in Mountain's bag there. Noted soul for power.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that'll make that trade for you. So, but you can only make it once. So, be careful.
Unless you're conniving. I just kind of chuckle under my breath when I say that.
Cole chuckles, but like very weakly.
So this is some good soup, right?
Yeah, delicious.
Is that a bit of bay leaf that I detect?
I've got rosemary in mine.
Rosemary.
Well, do you happen to know who we could go to find out, like,
Hmm.
if a sword like this can be transferred to someone? And by that I mean, like, transferred gods. Or is it just, like, it would have to be reforged because it has carvings in it already?
That's a fair question. I think the carvings are going to make it hard. You'd have to deal with them somehow.
Okay.
But you'd take it to whatever.
Deity you wish to
Right.
possibly speak to?
If you want to infuse it with
Exactly.
divine magic, you'd have to, you'd take it to that particular temple, and um, they'd have to perform some rituals of it, I presume, and probably have a smith or somebody, yeah, reforge it or do something to change it up.
Oh.
You could probably take it to an enchanter or some sort of artificer, and they'd be able to um, break those divine connections and perhaps infuse it with some arcane energies or some wild magic energies, depending on what connect it to. And if you wanted to make it a pack blade for another entity, you just need to find an entity who's so motivated to do it, especially if you could find somebody that has it out for Ilmater in particular, perhaps like a high fae or um, some god of chaos who wants to stick their finger in Ilmater's eye a little bit. um, those would be the three ways I could see that working.
Okay. Interesting. Mal's gonna finish up eating and go to her room and meditate. 'Cause he's exhausted.
Okay, so you're going to your room,
Yep.
and is everybody going to retire then, or is it just?
Yeah, Cole will.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I need to drink more broodingly.
Okay.
While I'm brutally drinking, does anything interesting happen in the bar area?
No, I mean, there aren't a lot of people in here, and anybody who is just kind of trying to forget, um, what happened today.
So they're also brutally drinking. Gotcha.
And the last time I saw was the one lost Dawn was in the other one's arms. So is that
Correct.
one passed away then?
Yeah, the younger one died.
Okay. I'm gonna just go walk around the town and seeing what's happened to it and everything like that, and just kind of getting a lay for it and just kind of inspecting what's going on around there.
Okay. So some people start to retire. Scatgram walks out the front to walk around town. Matavius, are you going to bed or are you doing something else?
No, I guess it's still. Is it fairly early still? I'll probably go out and help. and
No,
see
it's like getting late. Like it's 10, almost 11 at night.
Oh, okay. I'll probably just head to bed then.
Okay. Um,
Watching Scatgram leave, I decide that I'm going to drink brutally until he returns.
Okay. Go ahead, Morning Lord. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I got to 15.
Okay, that was the target. So, I mean, you're sitting there thinking, you're sitting there like, just thinking about the past, and what has happened, what you've been through in life, and trying to keep it out of your mind, and you just keep like fighting with it back and forth. Um, about what could have been done. Like why were you so more successful this time than you were in last time, and going back and forth, and you eventually do kind of just realize that well, you had more people, circumstances were different, and you're able to kind of like fight through those negative thoughts.
Technically, we had less people.
Well, you had an entire town, like this
Oh.
entire big town.
Well, when I guess I had a village helping. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was a much smaller village than this
Hmm.
town.
Gotcha.
But I mean, and so you just like think about it, and you kind of like the circumstances were different for both of them. They were individual events. You you did everything you could in the other one, and it's not your fault that things happen. Everybody else is pretty exhausted, and they fall asleep pretty quickly. Cole, you start. Yeah, I mean, you fall asleep quickly, and start to dream.
Mm-hmm.
And in your dream, your father appears, and he, he's like, he looks at you and he just says, "So now what are you going to do? You have nothing."
There's more inside me than you appreciate. I'm more than what part of you I carry with me. And I'm going to like lucid dreaming style summon Afanasi's sword, and throw it at his whatever is closest to his feet,
Yeah.
and say, "Your power, all the power you could grant him, didn't protect him from me, didn't protect him from my friends. Your power isn't as strong or as important as you think it is. I told you I'm going my own way. I told you that we're parting. And I faced everything that you could throw at me today. Whatever agents, whatever allies Afanasi had, and I did it without your gifts. And I was able to overcome that, not because of your power, not because of your gifts, but because of my friends. Because we're stronger together than I ever was with your power. So to answer your question, I'll find a way. I'll tap into what's deep inside me. But you and I are done. I'm done doing your dirty work. I'm done waiting for to face a threat that will never come. And I'm going my own way. Just like Afanasi should have a long time ago, if he knew what was good for him.
Afanasi was weak. Today wasn't all of my power, and you will see it. You will bend the knee to me. You are correct. This isn't over. And he kind of disappear. He disappears. And the book he gave you, like the first time he came to you in a dream.
Mhm.
You see like you have that in your hands in your dream, and it disappears as he kind of takes his leave.
I picture it kind of like turning into embers that are from a fire, like when if you throw like leaves or something into a fire and it kind of kicks up and it
Yeah.
turns into these like little embers and kind of goes off and disappears into the darkness of the dreamscape. Cole kind of flexes his hand, kind of gripping where the book would have been, and puts his hand to his face and um just starts to cry a little bit. And when he wakes up, he realizes that he's sitting up in bed and crying. And as with every tear that comes down his face, he feels some of his essence drain away. His hair, this radiant white hair, changes color. Some of his the sort of golden hues that are underneath his skin start to drift away, and you, if you were to watch him, you just kind of start to see him, some sort of essence of him drain away, um, and fade off into the night, not just like his tome did.
And you do, when you wake up, you feel around a little bit, and you do notice that your book is gone.
I reach over where I placed it and feel that it's empty and just kind of nod resignedly. And the rest of the night, I spend kind of not elf meditating, but just trying to tap into whatever energy I was able to draw on beforehand, and um, and try to tap into something deeper inside myself.
Okay. All right, everybody else sleeps through the night. Scatgram goes out in the night, and you do head to Elenel's house. You kind of, or where you know where to meet her, or where she may be. She is there, and she kind of sees you approaching, and she's like, "You failed."
I have not failed yet. There's more time still. The youngest Doxodon is dead.
That's one. We needed them weakened more.
Oh, they'll be weakened. Just give me a few more days.
I'm not sure that you have a few more days. We still need Mordecai.
That's fine. But my main worry right now is what we're dealing with in here. The Lord's Alliance will fall.
This needs to be done hastily. If we can't get this done, Zentarum won't appreciate. You won't appreciate the consequences from the Zentarum.
Are you trying to threaten me right now?
Everything's a failed threat.
If that's what this is, then you are strongly mistaken my ability.
You've given me no reason to trust your ability.
We'll see how that you feel after what happens. I just turn away and start walking back to the away from her.
Okay. She lets you leave. And you guys all sleep through the night. And you will level up after this.
Woohoo!
So you'll all be level 7. You wake up in the morning. in Morning Lord, like all night you were fighting back and forth with it. Like you did get a full night's sleep, so you're not exhausted.
Nice.
It was a tough night for you to go back and forth and relive both events really, but specifically the Seven Sin Slayers event.
So should we do our level up now?
If you want, it's whenever you guys want. Just whenever you have time or whatever you can do it. But otherwise, we'll just. What do you guys want to do in the morning?
Malon's gonna wake up slightly before everyone, since I only need 4 hours. He's going to take Droop out and train him.
Okay. I know we had rules for this.
Gonna do my level up.
And when Malin gets out of his room, I'm gonna make my way over to his room and start rummaging, trying to find the sword of Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy sword.
Malin, did you take your stuff with you then, or
Yes, Malon keeps everything on him.
okay? So, Scatgram, you do start rummaging through, and I mean, you're not able to find it. Like, I mean, he carries a lot of his stuff on him, so you kind of assume or figure after looking through his room everywhere that you can that he must have the sword
What
with
do I
him.
have on him? Yeah, I should be able to carry that all with me, no problem. I was just making sure it wasn't like outrageously.
You need to make your wisdom throw. We're looking for an 11. And Droop needs to make his intelligence. Looking for an 11.
Did I roll that right?
Yep, you got Droop will roll it.
Oh, yeah, I rolled a wisdom though, right?
Yeah, you rolled wisdom. It looks like you got it. Yeah, 22.
I didn't know if I used my plus or not.
Yeah, you would. So Droop has a +1 to an intelligence because I randomly assigned his stats. And
Yeah, he's slightly smart. He's barely missed it.
he did.
Wait, no.
He did. He needed an 11. Right now,
Oh,
that's
he
where
already
you're
had his
at.
+1. God damn it. I was hoping it was just a
Yeah.
regular roll.
No, that was his +1. So you just failed. I mean, it seems like stuff is catching on with him a little bit better.
Mhm.
But at this point, it's just like it's gonna take
It's just time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just time, a matter of time before he starts to put everything together.
He's able to swing the sword, but he's not able to swing the sword properly, kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. Okay. What is everybody else doing when they wake up?
What kind of temples are in this town?
Um,
Is there one that calls Daddy in this town?
it's all it's all just one temple, but there's like multiple rooms off of it. Kind of like, I guess, like a Final Fantasy X, how a lot of their temples had like multiple gods and like statues dedicated to like multiple gods in each one. Um, that's kind of what is here.
All right. My little goblin brain's turning right now.
You hit a dragon. Ooh.
What do I want to take first? Spell.
I don't know, but you want to know what cool spell I took?
What?
Control water, baby. I can
Nice.
part the sea like Moses.
I don't think it's that powerful, sir.
Hey, it tells me I can part. It literally says part water. You can cause water in the area to move apart and create a trench. Trench extends across the spell's area and separated water forms. Yada yada. Its area is 300 feet, so it's a narrow sea. Or I could just make a flood. Whatever. Raise the water level of standing water in the area by 20 feet. That seems pretty
No
good.
wonder it's a 4th level spell.
Put out the flood of puppies, then drown all the puppies.
Oh no! Don't drown the puppies.
I'm gonna go and meet up with Malin as he's sitting there training Droop.
Okay. So Malin, you're training Droop, trying to get him to retain some of the stuff, and Skagram walks up to you or to where you're at. So I assume you're not trying to like hide or anything.
No, I'm just
Oh, no.
casually
No,
strolling
Malin.
up.
I'm just saying
I mean-
Malin. Like I don't think he's trying to like hide what he's doing.
Not overly. Like, we'd probably just be slightly off the path.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
Okay. Out of the way.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Equipment or back? Equipment, right?
So, how goes the training over here?
Oh, it's a slow process, but Droop is slowly learning. Just need more time, really.
Do we have the time?
I mean, I'm not dead yet, so I have time until I'm dead.
What are you having him train with? And I kind of walk over to your bag with all the weapons in it.
Oh, he just trains with a normal. Fuck, what does he train with? That's a good question. Oh, he had a sword, right? I think he has like a sword.
Yeah, you've given him a
or
short
something.
sword. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
given
so he
him.
trains with a sword.
Y'all have him train with one of the ones that we found, one of the magical ones. Let him learn some magic with it.
No, I don't really let him touch anything magical yet. Have you seen him with this sword? He just ran into a room, started swinging around once. Can you imagine him with a magic weapon?
How else is he gonna learn?
No. He'll learn when he's able to fight. Why are you so curious, Scatgrim?
I just want to know. Goblins are curious by nature.
I mean, you're usually very what's the word, negative, or
Me? Negative? No, I've never negative.
well, especially towards Droop. He is stronger than you, or at least as strong as you.
I immediately go from having like the happy-go-lucky look on my face to just like this death glare scowl towards you. And as I recognize I do it, and quickly just kind of shake my head and try to shake it off. No, he just I had to let him win. We got to build up his confidence. The little guy, he's having a hard time as it is.
That does make sense. He was scared. You're making him feel a little bit strong. Never thought of it that way, Scatgrim.
Exactly. You gotta give him a little ego boost here.
So, what are you looking for over there?
Oh, I remember you had that dagger, and I had this nice little javelin here.
Oh yeah, that javelin. Oh yeah. Are
I was
you
thinking
saying?
maybe this javelin for the dagger and the daddy sword?
I don't think we're gonna get rid. I don't think the daddy sword. If we're honest, the daddy sword is more. I'm holding on to it to make sure it doesn't get in the wrong hands now. And I gotta be honest, Scatgrim, your hands might be the bad ones.
That's a little hurtful. All the times I've come to rescue you.
Hey, we got to be honest with each other every now and then. We both know neither of us are always the greatest person.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to believe, Malin on this. That you're probably not the right person for that sword.
But why? What makes you think that?
When the fuck did he get here?
I'm everywhere. I was riding the 20-foot wave with my control water spell. Dude, did you guys see this cool thing I invented? You take like this board and you cover it in wax, and then you ride a wave.
You just really wasted a fourth level
was just-
spell.
He was out. He
No.
was out for a morning walk to commune with nature, and he happened to cross you guys.
No, I'm not gonna waste a fourth level
I was
spell
gonna
on
say,
that.
that'd be fucking hilarious.
Though, if it ever comes up, I'm doing it. I'm surfing that 20-foot wave, baby.
Well,
But
I guess
yeah.
at least let's change the dagger for this javelin, and then you can owe me because this javelin obviously is something
Yeah,
that you could use more than I could.
I mean, I can use the dagger as well. I mean, I can use everything in my possession, sir.
But you won't use the daddy sword. That's a waste of power.
It isn't so much as a waste of power as I might be looking to redirect that power.
If all else fails, we could, just, give the sword to the Fae and let them do with it as they will.
Nope, it's
I
mine
don't,
right now.
I don't know if that's a better option because they're not always the most, good people in the world or in, whatever.
But at least with me, I have me on a chain. You guys know where I am.
And I also have that sword on a chain right now that you're not getting.
I don't know, Scatgram. Where were you for like that whole entire fight? I couldn't tell where you were.
I was checking up on Droop and on the docks.
Checking up
Women
on
and
Drew.
children first, making sure that they're all ready to go.
You were probably like dressed up like a woman trying to get on the boats out of here, weren't you?
Hey, no judging. So I pull my pack off my back and I grab the javelin and hold it out with my hands to Malin.
Scott Graham, we'll trade for the dagger. We'll say I quote unquote owe you for now.
All right, there's a javelin of lightning that I gave you.
And it's just dagger of venom.
Venom, huh?
What?
Said Venom, huh?
Yep. Javelin of lightning. Where mid?
That was oh shit. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, I'm not efficient with this one as much.
Oh,
Oh, it's because it's not a +1. That's why. Sounds. And as we do that trade, I'm gonna say that you notice the sword is actually sitting under me.
that you're sitting on the damn thing.
Yep.
And that can't be too comfortable of a chair there. I just kind of reach out to touch the hilts or
And
the
I-
scabbard, whichever is poking out.
And I'm gonna slowly like put my hand down on the sword, make sure you can't pull it out, and be like, "Now, Sagat grab. There's no need for that."
All right. And then I'll just kind of step back and just watch you guys.
Do you think it'd be possible we could just break the sword? Would that fix some stuff?
I ain't really looking to break it. I'm looking to talk to my god about it. But I'll do that at another time. And I guess
You know-
if you want to like know about, you can hear like some kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like evil malice, but like something like going on in my head. Like I have intent, like you can tell I have intention for it.
I kind of wonder if I could turn my staff into the snake and it swallows the sword and I turn it back. Will that kind of seal it away from people for now?
Oh.
I don't think your snake would work as a bag of holding. I only say that because if it is in a snake's stomach, and it's not like truly magical, like it has no true magic intention, wouldn't it just deteriorate in the stomach acid eventually? Or are you thinking it like kind of disappears? Like into
I
another
mean,
plane.
it doesn't really exist as a snake when it's a staff. So I was just kind of wondering what would happen to it.
Guess that would be I don't know. I don't quite like that idea. I like the idea of me maintaining.
Why is that?
Are you here now too?
No, I'm not. You guys can do whatever you're doing.
So the way I'm hearing this is, you want the sword for your own power and gains.
I wouldn't say
Gotcha.
power gains, more as a trade for something. And it wouldn't be my power.
I just kind of huff and walk back towards the end where everybody else is at. I'm assuming still.
Okay. Are other people up or eating, or what's everybody else doing?
I
Yeah,
am.
cool.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go first.
I was gonna say I am awake and I am eating downstairs.
I'm gonna walk away from Malin and find some water to just kind of chill with. Now that I learned my water spell to help me kind of become one with the water.
So you're looking like, I mean, like you're right next to the sea, so you're gonna like sit on the beach.
I'm gonna go wade out into the water and just be like, dude, just gonna become one with it now that I've got the ability to control it.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
And become one with the water.
He's up
It's
in it.
druid shit.
You wouldn't understand.
All right.
You know, he's peeing in the water's peeing in him. He's becoming one.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It is a cycle, okay? Not peeing. It is a cycle of water.
Water comes in the mouth. Water goes out the TV.
Cycle.
Cycle.
Am I also doing druid water shit right now?
Do whatever
I mean,
you
did
want,
you,
but
did you go to the beach?
I'm drinking water and I have to
Oh.
pee.
I mean, you make a closed loop and then maybe.
So yeah, I just come back in and I sit next to Morning Star there, who's eating breakfast, I guess, this morning.
Do you call him Morningstar?
Yep.
Okay.
gonna
Are you
afford to.
addressing me there, little scatgram?
Yeah. Who else is Morning Star here?
My name is Morning Lord.
Star Lord. You still respond, so it works.
Is there something that I could assist you with this morning, good sir?
Just waiting for everyone else with you.
Do you want to partake in these wonderful ham steaks and scrambled eggs with a nice cinnamon roll on the side?
That's more than enough food for like 5 goblins. Well, Jesus, you're eating too much.
Well, I'm a Goliath, which is about 5 goblins in size. So, you know. And then I gobble down some food.
Will come down eventually. Just kind of probably one of the last to come down. And when he comes down, he looks a little different. He looks a little. Let me see. Like that. Like that. Everything that was white is now kind of a purple looking color.
Like what?
I don't see it.
Oh, sorry, I dropped.
I'm on the battle screen still.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped it in chat. There, it should be up there now.
So like a bluish purple hue
Yeah.
with a little bit of white. So you still kind of have a little bit of white or no white at all?
Very little.
Okay.
Everything that was that sort of divine white is now purple.
Skygram just looks over at him and noticing the difference in the hair color and thing. Holy crap! You dyed your hair.
No, I think it just went back to my hair is connected to my soul in a weird way, and I think I've gone through some changes since last night.
Is this what the kids call an emo phase?
I've heard it called that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it affects me.
Scatgram, could you have any less tact?
What? He dyed his hair.
You know, you
I didn't say it
don't
looked
mention
terrible.
you don't mention to somebody that they dyed their hair and going through an emo phase. It's just
I didn't offer him a
rude.
dagger. I didn't offer him a dagger.
I do not like what you're implying with that.
Whoa. Maybe he wanted to whittle something. I don't know.
Well, Cole, do you want to sit down and enjoy us on this bountiful breakfast we are consuming?
Gladly, Cole will reach over and grab like an apple from a basket of fruit that's sitting there, and just kind of munch on it.
So last night you're talking about that sword and power, right?
Right.
So like if someone has it, they can get power, or do you not need the sword, or how's that work?
So the thing about the power is that it doesn't come from the sword itself. It comes from the pact. It comes from the exchange. It's bestowed every time you rest and every time you sleep by whoever your patron is. In this case, it was my father. And so a lot of times the power will come. You'll have a symbol of your pact. Sometimes it's an amulet, sometimes it's a tattoo, sometimes it's a sword. And you use a sword like a little bit like a focus, or a way to commune, but that's really just for us. It's easier for us to commune to gods when there's something to do it through. So in theory, you could just, make a pact with a demon, and, it doesn't require a sword or anything special for you to get the powers, but sometimes they make you take one, um just to make it easier on you. My pact was written in my body because it's from my father, because he's my father, and um which is why when he took away his favor and broke our pact, my body changed so much.
So it's not that little diary you're always carrying around with you.
That too. I mean, that's part of it. That was more of a gift, though.
So how would one go about getting one of these gifts?
Well, you need to prove yourself to your whoever you're making the pact with, and they'll bestow stuff on you, like my book or like some other, um, some other blessing or some other totem. It depends on the specific terms of your agreement. So it might be different if you're, um, if you're in a pact with a um, with a fiend, or with a fae, or with a god, or something else. So again, it takes all sorts of kinds, and I can't tell you, if you were to become a warlock, what form your pack would make. You'd have a little bit of a say in that. You'd get to choose, in some cases, what it looks like, and what the terms of your agreement are.
Interesting. And say you happen to grab somebody else's item that they made the pact with. Does that influence them at all?
Like if you had stolen my book.
Yeah. Like I know that one time I took it from you, you got a little antsy about me having it.
That's a fair question. It depends on the terms of the pact. Um, a fiend just cares about having your soul, so they might write your tome in the form of a tattoo, on your body, and so, you can't escape it, and that's sort of, what fiends like to do is like, oh, don't forget you're part of me forever, and I get your soul, and da 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 da. The Fae, they love these, weird games. So I could definitely see if somebody is in a pact with a Fae, um, them giving you a necklace and say, you can never take this off. If you take this off, you die. And put like a gaze on you. Um, Not because, it's mandatory for your powers, but because they're Fae and they like to play weird games like that. So again, it depends. If it's not, if you want to, um, if you think you can outdeal a demon and somehow, do some sort of weird soul swap, get somebody else to do a pact and then steal their thing, you'd need to make that the terms of the pact. And, people have tried for generations, millennia even, to find ways to get the power of a warlock um, without being beholden to the terms of a pact. And most of them it don't work because um, because they're playing a different game than we are.
I see. So it'd be a bit risky.
Extremely risky. um, you could screw up the terms of your deal with a Fae, tumble into the Feywild, and then, come out 1,000 years later, after you just, but for you, it was, you just took a nap. You could, you know, um, make some sort of deal with a demon and then be, cursed to, the nine hells or something for all eternity, and, and turn into a Vermeil or something. You could, or you could just have, a patron who's, constantly yelling at you to tell you to do stuff. And as soon as you disobey, they yank away your powers. So it all depends. The fiends don't mess around.
So it's kind of like working with thieves.
I suppose that's true. I hadn't thought about that way, but yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, sometimes you make pacts, you think you can get down with them, and shit don't work out. I
The
know
only
that.
Yeah, the only difference is usually with thieves, there's a price that you can pay. You get enough gold, and they'll look the other way about it. With packs, they look for more. It's a little bit more complicated.
I suppose that may be so.
But yeah,
I'll just kind of slowly, like, just sink back in my chair and just kind of look around, like pretend like most of the conversation didn't happen, type thing.
Somebody
I'm
sure
fine.
is inquisitive this morning.
I'm just kind of curious. I'll be honest. Last night I was kind of half paying attention with the mumblings and rumblings that are going on. There's too much to take in.
I think everybody who's ever been in a tight bind has considered, you know, taking the easy way out, if you will, and I don't necessarily recommend it.
You know another way you can be granted power?
An oath, I presume.
Yes, devout worship to an upper being and taking an
Oh.
oath.
So same type of thing. You're just putting your soul into someone else's hands.
Yes, kind of, a little.
So it's not much difference.
There's I wish there were more difference than there seems to be. I think there's a meaningful difference, but
There's nuances, you know. There's lots of ins and outs and what have you.
the biggest difference is that warlock patrons, they thrive on doubt and uncertainty. They seek out the people who crave power so that it can satiate their own anxieties. Paladins, if you've got that kind of anxiety and uncertainty, if you're not devout, if you can't withstand the terms of your oath or say them in you speak it in vain, you need to have that fire in you. And so yeah, this is different paths to the same thing perhaps, but I think one is fueled by devotion and the other one is fueled by the opposite.
Very interesting.
I wander up.
Oh, what the hell did you get here?
I'm just saying very interesting because it got
Hello.
paused for so long.
Hello,
I'm
Felidor.
still out and about.
Like, hey guys, what's going on?
We're just Scott was just complimenting my new look.
Oh yeah, there is something different about you.
He
Yep.
dyed his hair.
Yeah. Change my skin too.
We
Change the
have
color of my
hair now?
eyes.
Blacked his eyes.
I can
Yeah.
do that too.
You know, I think I have something for you. I kind of like go over into the corner and you see me like working with things with my hands, and I come over and I place a crown of flowers on your head. There you go, to complete your new look.
Cole wanders over to like a mirror or a polished glass somewhere, and when you placed it on his head, you could kind of see there was sort of a brave face he was putting on, trying to maintain his positivity. When he looks at the flowers and sees how somehow, probably druidic magic, they actually match his eyes and kind of go with it. He starts laughing. Um, First, kind of a bemused chuckle, and that's kind of covering the pain. But then it kind of gets away from him, the way laughter kind of does, and he starts crying, laughing, and it's just like, I it goes with my eyes. Um, I I've looked in the mirror probably half a dozen times before coming down here, and that's the first time I've seen my reflection this morning and actually liked it. Thank you, Felidor.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
and he chuckles again and takes a seat back. Actually happy for what might be the first time this morning, might be the first time in the last few days.
So it looks like the only person we're missing around the table now is Malin.
Hey, and Droop. Don't forget about
Oh, and Drew.
I think he and Droop were doing some practice earlier. I heard while I was trying to get the gumption to come down, I heard him kind of trumping about talking to Droop, trying to get some training in. So I imagine he's around here somewhere, probably outside.
Whacking their swords together.
Actually, there is something I do want to do quick, if I can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I muted myself.
Do the
In
thing.
town, I would like to find brown and green cloth, and then then I also want to find a. How would you say that? Like a. You know how like your god has like an image?
Like
What would that
an-
be called?
Like insignia type of thing.
Yeah, an insignia. I'd
Huh.
like to find like oak, or if I can even just find the insignia of my god. And I would like to. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking the brown and green cloth. I'm gonna wrap the sword starting at the the bottom of the sword with brown cloth up, and then go into green, so it looks like a tree. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna tie that off with like just string or whatever, and then have my like god's crest over it.
Okay. Um. Sure. So you start walking around town. And as you are walking around, you do pass the spectacular cures, which is where you guys have been getting all your potions and stuff. Um, and you see uh, Nuka's Steelhide there along with Vanya, and Steelhide is yelling at Syl. Um, he's going into her like, you killed my son. Like, this is your fault. You'll pay. Lord's Alliance will have retribution for your misdeed. And the turtle is just sitting there, kind of unknowing of what's going on, and he's like, Steelhide just looks at him and is like, "Your potions had the poison in them. He drank your potions, and he died. This is your fault."
Wow. So I like walk in, or are they doing this outside?
Yeah, I mean, like you can kind of hear the commotion, but he's like inside yelling at her. But like, I mean, like obviously, like there's glass, there's windows and stuff that you can see in, but like he is not being quiet about it. And so like as it grabs your attention as you walk by, you kind of see it's
So
Vanya
basically just
and
eavesdropping.
the Steelhide. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Malin doesn't really know what to do with that news. He's just going to, store that away for right now. Maybe come back to it and tell the group.
Okay.
But is that where I'm heading into? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I mean you're headed into like the market area, so like this would be part of it. You've passed it a couple times, but you're headed to the needle and cloth, which is the
okay.
tailor.
Yeah, then Malin will just take note of what he's heard and report that back to the group when he gets back.
Okay. You walk into the tailor and you actually see um, like this. It's an Earth Genasi, a female Earth Genasi. She's younger in age, and she introduces herself as Ingenious and asks what she can do for you.
Yeah. So I was looking for maybe some not really too simple, maybe some like kind of silky like cloth, brown and green. And then he's gonna pull out the sword and he's like, I just need it long enough to wrap around this.
Okay. She looks at the sword, kind of eyeballing the length.
And he explains how he wants to do it, where like the brown goes into the green to make it kind of seem like a tree.
Okay.
Just so she knows the length cuts. Yeah, I do.
What?
Yeah, so she kind of looks at it, and I mean she like brings out a couple different cloths for you, and basically is like, I mean, I can get you any of these cloths, and she kind of gives you prices for the amount of cloth that it'll take. And
I guess this would be a question to you with
yeah.
So what I'm trying to just kind of do is keep it like as like quote unquote protected, but it's not really protected because there's no magic protecting it, but like something to appease my god. Would I want higher quality cloth in that circumstance?
I mean, that would be up to you on.
I'm just asking, is that like, would that be something Malin knows? Like, would he know that higher quality cloth is more likely to appease? But I guess that wouldn't be because my god is more of like sacred and just simplistic earth. I don't know. God damn it.
I mean, it'd be one of those things where it's I mean, I'm not sure how much the cloth will matter. It's a matter.
Yeah.
It's more
I-
of like kind of
I
whatever you think. But she does bring a few different back, and she, says it'll cost. She brings one that's going to be like 10 silver for the 2 colors total, and then another one uh that'll be like 50 or not 10 silver, 1 silver, 5 silver, and then one that's like 2 gold.
We'll go with the 5 silver one.
Okay.
We'll go mid grade. And then, does she have any twine? I guess I probably have twine. No, I don't know. I just guess I need
I mean,
twine
she's
or
got.
silver.
I mean, yeah, she's got like strings and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could go to like a general goods.
No, I'll just take whatever she's got. We'll call it like 8 gold for everything, or 8 silver for everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like cutting in the Okay. Then I'm gonna assume I have a crest of my god on me, because that kind of seems weird.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have something, or I mean, if you wanted to go to the church to see if they had something.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll head to the temple and see if they have a crest of my god that I can purchase or get.
Go to the old church gift shop.
I mean, basically, all I need to ensure is that it's made out of an oak, and that it has, picture of the tree on it.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
else?
I mean, like you go there, and I mean, you can the druids who are there, like they kind of run the temple,
Mhm.
and they greet you. They if you're specifically asking for oak, um, they are like, we could make that for you. I mean, we want to make sure that you are um, praying and appeasing your god wherever you go.
Mhm.
And so they say, come back in a day,
Okay.
and they are more than willing to make that for you.
Okay. I will then head to. I'm gonna ask them how much it costs. I'm gonna pay them up front.
I mean, they just tell you it free of charge. You can make
I'll
a
make an
goodwill
offer, and then-
donation to
yep.
the church if you would like. But we want people to have symbols of their god with them when they need them.
I'll make a goodwill offering to the temple of 10 gold pieces.
Okay. They thank you, and like I said, it'll be available
One day.
next.
Yep.
Yeah, next tomorrow.
Okay, and then I will head back to the tavern or inn.
Okay.
And I'll walk in. Man walks in and goes, "Whoa! Do we have a new teammate or something? Or what's going on here? Somebody looks like something's different."
There's been a bit of a change.
Wait, that's Cole? That's
Yeah,
your voice.
that's me.
Wow, you're looking pretty good, buddy.
Thanks.
After that interaction, I will come sit down and I'm gonna look at everyone and go, if everyone could lean in real quick, there's something I want to talk about, but I don't want to make too much of a commotion about it. I walked by the potion shop that we normally go to, and it appears that the Lord's Alliance is claiming that she poisoned the Loxodon that died. Seems really weird that she would do anything like that to me, since she seems like a perfectly fine person every time we've gone in there. So I don't know if there's something going on that we don't know of, but it seems rather odd.
That does seem odd. I think I think that's worth investigating a little bit more.
I didn't get into it too much. For what they seem like, they want the shop owner's head on a picket. It's the best way to describe it. So
For me, the Lord's Alliance isn't as friendly as we thought they were.
I mean,
Throwing out allegations like that. I mean, they trusted this person for how long? We've gotten potions from them how long, and nothing's happened.
correct. Cole, do you think you're Dad would have possibly done something like this? Is this kind
I
of down his network?
typically no. I don't think he'd be but he's been acting a lot more erratic lately, and it seems like there's something going on. He's building to something, and um, and so while normally this wouldn't be his modus operandi, um, I
Just wanna,
think
wanna, wanna?
I don't think this would be his normal way of doing things. I think that we have to keep that same possibility that there's some manipulation happening.
Ah, yes. Should maybe we should inform the Lord Alliance about this. I don't know about you personally. I don't want a potion shop owner to suddenly die if they're not needing to be, because I like potions. Got quite a few here from her myself.
I agree. We should see if we can intervene and help out.
I second this motion. What are we
Aye,
going?
aye, captains.
What are our plans to investigate this?
I mean, I think our best bet is to address the Lord Alliance, let them know that it might be a situation where the person got manipulated in a way that they didn't want to do something,
Or framed.
or framed. That's very possible as well. Maybe we can talk to them and see if there is a better course of action rather than offing the only potion maker that we know of in this town.
So is that what we plan on doing today?
It's up to the group.
I'm cool with
I mean-
whatever.
I mean, if you guys don't care for the potion maker, you can let them die because they might be guilty. I mean, not going to stop a guilty party from getting their comeuppance.
No, there must be justice done. And I slam my
our place
hand on the
either, though.
table.
What was that, Skygram?
It might not be our place even, either. So
That is a good point. We might be just done here, and it's our time to move along. So, except I gotta wait one day. I need to pick up one more item.
Well, we got a
You know,
day to look into this.
and like I said, we don't even know. Maybe the Lord's Alliance isn't as peaceful and great and grand as we think they are either.
That could be too. Everybody's got their own agenda.
I mean, we don't even know why they were getting attacked, really. Other than they got that big army coming here, right?
I mean, I think it was just that Cole's dad wanted to, be powerful and own a village.
There's some greater moves happening that's a little bit too little bit beyond my ability to predict, but
I mean, just as a simpleton, I can point out that this is a harbor. Harbors are usually very important when it comes to advantages, like bringing in items, from other places, bringing in more troops. This is a decent spot to do that.
that's true.
Where do you think we should? So, should we start by going to the Lord's Alliance and asking them about this?
I'd say let's talk to the potion maker first and get her side of the story.
I'm fine with that. So, to the potion maker, unless anyone disagrees or wishes to go elsewhere.
I mean, we got nothing else to lose.
I
Let's go
finish
see
my
the
cinnamon roll and say, yes, let's do it.
Okay,
You-
so
you
you
have a
all head
cinnamon roll?
towards. You guys all head towards the potion maker.
Seems that
Let's
way, yes.
do it.
Towards the turtle.
Let's go
Um,
see the tortoise. Let's go see the...
Okay, so you head that way, and you get to the spectacular Kiers, and she, greets you. Vanya and Nuku's are no longer there. but she just greets you and how can I help you? I'm pretty out of items right now after the battle yesterday, but I can certainly try and get an order in for you and make something up.
No, Mal's gonna walk forward and go, no, I was walking past here earlier, and it seems that an issue has arose during the battle, and that you might have some problems with the Lord's Alliance right now.
I don't know what happened. Mr. Steelhide was claiming that I killed his son. That one of my potions uh, was poison, and I planted it there to kill him. He's thinking I might be a spy or something. I'm just not. I don't know. I would never.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you mix up a potion of poison and a potion of healing.
I mean, I
Is
just
that
gave
a-
him. I've never made a potion of poison. I mean, I don't even know if that's what it was. He just said he died, and he like I've never made a potion of poison. I've never made any type of negative potion. I don't know how it got into my wares.
That is really weird how that would happen then. As I start looking through the shelves and see what he has marked for inventory usually.
I mean, like if you're looking through his her wares, it's she just has a lot of like potion of healing. Um,
I just started looking around, making sure that she's not like saying it to our face and then actually has something like that on the shelf type thing.
yeah, I mean, like what would be like marked areas is like potion of healing, maybe like a potion of heroism every now and then.
I don't see anything here, guys. It doesn't make sense.
So Mal's gonna look towards the group. So she's saying that she had nothing to do with it, but yet I guess we need to verify if he actually died from poison, right? But
Yeah,
how do we do that?
I think we need to. Is anybody able to speak with the dead? Would we be able to connect to his spirit and learn more about the way he died?
I do not have such abilities.
I don't either.
I can only speak with animals.
I mean, if they is anyone able to know if she's telling 100% the truth by chance?
I mean,
Oh,
if you want, you can do an insight check.
I could actually cast a spell for this.
That's what I was kind of hitting at.
I am going to lay down a zone of truth.
As he's preparing that spell, I'll explain to the listen, just so that we can speak with authority to the Lord's Alliance. I think they kind of, owe us a few favors or something, or at least some goodwill. We want to be able to know for certain that, what we're telling them is exactly the truth. So my colleague here, he's preparing a zone of truth. If you can reiterate exactly what you told us before, that way we can tell them that we know for sure this is the truth. So we need to investigate further and find out what really happened, because it seems like you know there was an agent who may have swapped out a potion for a poison or something like that. And that's worth investigating, and then it's important to get to the actual truth. So are you okay with that?
Um, yeah, absolutely. Um,
Well, I think we need to have a couple of us outside to make sure no one that doesn't know about this spell doesn't walk into it and have to have some kind of random thinking. I don't want to ruin someone else's life coming into this spell.
That's a interesting point. Skycram, do you want to partake in protecting the door and letting people know?
Yeah, I'll step outside. Anybody else wants to step outside with me? That way we can just make sure people don't come in here and let them know, hey, unless you're wanting to have to spill the beans on anything that someone asks you a random question on, like, I don't want to ruin someone's marriage because they're having an affair and someone just randomly goes, hey, you have an affair. Whoa. I don't
Skycram,
want
are you
that.
having an affair?
I'm with you guys all the time. Who the hell am I gotta sleep with?
I would like to step outside of Scatgram.
So we'll watch the door and direct people away from here. let them know what's going on. That way, there's nothing fishy that goes on in here and gets us in trouble with that.
Okay. So you cast it. It's a 15-foot sphere.
The
I guess,
shopkeep needs to
everybody-
make a charisma saving throw.
Yeah, everybody can make that charisma saving throw actually too.
Is that only if we're not willing, or is that no matter what?
I think it says
You can't
It's
speak a
every-
deliberate lie if you are in
Fail.
the spear and fail the charisma saving throw.
yeah. I mean, like, she can just deliberately say
Well, if
that
we're
she's not going to
outside.
try and fight it. It's only if you're in the sphere do you need to make the throw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. I went outside.
So it'd be, that Cold made the save, Felidor made the save, Malin failed to save. And Syl also failed the save. So sorry, I rolled that as you, but I added her charisma. Yeah, she kind of just tells you the same story. Like, I would never. I mean, me killing somebody would be detrimental to my business. I mean, there's no reason for me to do that. And I mean, if the town lost everything, I mean, what does that do for me?
I'm inclined to agree with you. I think that's a fair point, and I appreciate you being willing to subject yourself to this this magic. I think we need to talk to the Lord's Alliance and dig in a little deeper.
Yes, I agree.
Can I talk to Scatgram in private?
Yeah.
So we're both outside by ourselves.
Yeah. Do you want me to move you guys?
I mean, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, just 1 second here. So yeah, you guys talk to Syl. She's like, I mean, if there's any way that I can help you guys, any way at all, let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. And then, as I say, I think you guys are going to head that way. But 1 second here, and I will be right back.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
What?
I don't know. That just got stuck in my head. So, I didn't even realize Batavius was here until, like, he said he was going to step outside.
He's been very quiet.
Lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Trying to figure out what I actually want to do with this sword. I have a couple ideas.
You can throw it into a lake.
You could give it to
And then
Droop.
The spirit of the lake will give it to the next king of England. That's how monarchies work, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
I already dug pretty deep to do the whole make it look like a tree and then put the god's seal over it. Well, not seal, but emblem.
You know,
Hey, Cole, is your dad like one of the named gods? Or was he like homebrewed?
He might be from a different edition.
Because I'm on the wrong page. This list had some god or deities that they were like familiar with. And I don't remember what the name of your
Ilmater.
Ilmater.
ILMATER. It's a Forgotten Realms. I think it's Ilmater, but
Thanks for the look. I very much appreciate it.
Cole has an accent.
Lots of
I was
roleplay
going to
tonight.
ask, with that picture, what Final Fantasy game are you from?
Yeah, right?
Or is it Kingdom Hearts?
I think it might be 15 or something, but or an OC. I don't know. I was pulling. I was trying to find a suitable alternative for my character art, and it was either that one or this one.
It doesn't have any stated relations
Um,
with it.
But that one was a little bit too like that one was even more emo than I wanted to go for.
Very
That one-
menacing.
That one
Yeah.
looks like it's straight out of Symphony of the Night or Castlevania.
Something like that. So somewhere in between the two, but I like the first guy's
Aura?
face a little bit more. Yeah, he seemed happier, and I didn't want Cole to just be brooding all the time.
Oh, Zach. Did I tell you that when I was at Video Games Etc., they also had a copy of Symphony of the Night for PS1?
No.
Yeah. They had a ton of stuff there that time.
Somebody must have offloaded a bunch of stuff. Or they found a bunch of stuff in storage.
Yeah, they had a ton of NES games, like I said, that were in box. I was like, Jesus, who finds the boxes for NES games? I mean, most of them were the boxes were pretty beat up, but just even having them is like a miracle.
Yeah, and I immediately recycled every cardboard box that I've ever gotten for a game. If I would have known that, in 1996, that if I saved this box in 2022, it would make my game worth like $145, I probably would have kept the boxes.
Dude, they also had Silent Hill 2, 3, and not 4, but I think it was like Origins or whatever the other PS2 one was that were
Yes,
there.
I saw that.
Yeah, and Silent Hill 3 was $175.
That's
Alright, so
because the one lady that's the protagonist is super popular.
okay, so you guys talked to Sil for a little bit, trying to get as much information, and like as she stated, she basically stated that she would never. It doesn't benefit her to kill anybody in the Lord's Alliance. They're one of the main guards and one of the main protections of the town, and why would they? Why would she want to kill something? Because it doesn't benefit her. And
Leave there afoot.
she looks, and then as you guys are finishing up, Matavius turns around the corner and comes back in.
You guys get it figured out yet?
As
I
far as sorry, go ahead.
was gonna say it seems like she's telling the truth, because we hit her with the zone, and she told the same story. And once you're in the zone, you can't tell a lie.
So for me not to say get in the zone.
The danger zone.
It seems,
Into
and
the
I think
danger
separate from that, why would somebody stay in the city if they were in fact betraying the Lord's alliance in here? That alone I think raises suspicion that there's more to the story than meets the eye, and it's more of a danger to let an you know let whoever is responsible for this continue to work unabated, assuming they're still alive, um, than to get to the bottom of this. So it might be satisfying to start laying accusations and excising punishments, but that doesn't make us any safer. So I think our next conversation is with the Lord's Alliance.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I concur. I sound smarter already.
Oh, you do.
So I imagine that's the next location that we need to go to. So
Yeah.
let's
very much.
get the gang together and head on out. Where's Scatgram?
He's out front guarding.
All right, let's go. When I start heading that way to the exit.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Du-du-du-du-dum.
I guess when we get outside and I become within eye shot of Scatgram, I tell him that she was telling the truth and that we need to go talk to the Lord's Alliance.
Well, I suppose you guys say so.
All right, does anybody know where the Lord's Alliance is? I'm not a part of the club.
They're at they're at an inn. Well, they're usually.
Well, they have their headquarters too that you guys all know about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
well,
so
the headquarters should be
headquarters.
just over a little ways here. It's where we were mustering earlier, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Okay. So you
Mustard.
guys head over there and you know Thalia and Thad are outside guarding, and then you see Nuku's, and then they let you in, obviously knowing who you are,
Mhm.
and then Vanya and Nuku's are sitting at a table with a few um, are sitting at a table talking with a couple other Lords Alliance members, and you kind of hear Nuku's pleading with Vanya, like she needs to pay. Like, what are you going to do about this? We can't let somebody get away with killing a member of the Lord's Alliance. And then obviously, like Thad's leading you guys in while Thalia stays outside to guard. And he, once you guys enter, he saw that here. He sees that Vanya kind of stops, puts her hand up to make a Nuku stop talking, and then she just turns to you guys and greets you warmly.
Good morning.
Morning. How can I help you?
Um, we've got some concerns about we've heard the rumors about a poisoning that happened in the midst of the battle. I suspect that there's more to the story than is letting on, and it's worthy of a deeper investigation. I understand that the potion master just run is the primary suspect. We took it on ourselves to talk with her. We even cast a zone of truth to talk it through. And if she's involved in any way, it's as an unwilling and unknown knowing patsy. And my current theory is that actually there's some other bad actor who surreptitiously tampered with the potions. It wasn't in the making. It was in the drinking that the poison was inflicted, and I think that we need to find who swapped the potion, a healing potion for poison, because my fear is that they're still out there somewhere in the city, and there's an actual traitor in the midst that we need to root out. I don't think it's the potion maker.
Well, she won't tell you. At this point, Nuku's kind of speaks up and he's just like, if she won't tell you who did it, then it's pretty clear that she's involved. She knew. My son is dead because of her.
My heart goes out to you more than I can say at the loss of your son. Truly. but I truly believe that she does not. She was very open with us, very generous with the details, more than she needed to be. I think there's something else going on, and I suppose I'm here to offer our services, to look deeper into this, to find the true culprit and bring them to justice.
Vanya looks at you and she's just like, I mean, do you guys have any leads?
No.
I think the first step would need to be, with your, permission, um, finding out what we can from the body, seeing what kind of poison it is, seeing if there's any arcane remnants, um, that could point us in any sort of direction.
Um,
So I suppose I'm also asking your permission to do that.
Vanya kind of looks at Nuku's just for approval, since it is his son, um, and he kind of solemnly nods, and she goes. Vanya just looks at you all, and she's like, "I guess you have proven yourself in your willingness to help. Um, I mean, as Red Knights now, and that's kind of how she tells you that you guys are, who are members of the Lord's Alliance, are all ranking up in the Lord's Alliance.
Woohoo!
Um, so you will become the rank of Red Knife, and what that does is the faction will start to train you on things, so you can either learn jeweler's tools, mason tools, navigator's tools, painter's tools, get proficiency in a gaming set, or learn any.
Cool.
Obviously, you have to like take the time to learn it with the faction, but you can do it. And she's like, it's. I mean, we have nothing else besides Syl, and seem to have talked to her. Um, I I hope we can trust your judgment and her word about what's going on.
I assure
Uh,
you, we'll get to the bottom of this.
And they do kind of lead you um, lead you out to where they're currently holding the body.
Hey, Cole, I don't
Yeah.
know much about looking at bodies. How do we tell something happened?
Well,
Because it just looks dead to me.
yeah, you think about what a normal body would look like, and
Mhm.
then you see the ways that it's different.
Oh.
And then you go from there.
Still looks dead to me, Cole.
I look
Yeah.
over between you two, like, well, I can tell you right now, it's not breathing. So I mean, that's one way you know it's dead.
Okay, we'll note that down. I think that's normal for a corpse, though. So
Well, you didn't say it had to be not normal.
fair point. Fair point. I did not. Can I roll medicine to figure out, or Arcana to?
Yeah, is somebody helping with this, like
Please.
actively
Malin
helping,
will-
not
yes,
making
Mal-
random decisions?
Malin literally wants to help. He just doesn't know how to help,
Okay.
so he'll help as much as he can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
so-
nature, maybe. I don't know.
I could help with some medicine.
I would.
I know something about that.
I would
Okay.
like to help is someone that knows the human body and how to inflict pain. I kind of
This
know.
isn't
the
a
point.
human.
Yeah, somebody can make medicine with advantage in order to.
All right. I'll roll medicine if that works.
That's fine with me.
All right.
I mean, between you and Felidor, you're probably the two more like.
Something. I got a 19.
Okay.
Oh damn!
Um,
Damn, he rolled really well for that one.
I did. It was a good roll. I got very
so
lucky.
you're like inspecting the body and looking at it, looking it over and everything, and uh, you you don't see any wounds um, that go further than the surface. Essentially, like you obviously see some of the slash marks from a battle. You know, like you see sword marks, dagger, but like you don't see anything that's like truly that deep that would make it seem as though um, that would have been the cause, like some type of stabbing or slashing would have killed them. You also, uh, you along with Feldor and everybody else, looking at the body more, you kind of see that you don't see like his skull caved in. You don't really see like his like ribs broken and like um the puncture. Like you don't see like his ribs like puncturing his lung or anything like that, like it broke or like anything like that. So you kind of rule out that it was uh any type of like bludgeoning, slashing, or stabbing or piercing damage that would have killed them.
Okay. I can't seem to tell what would have actually killed him. Everything, all these cuts are fairly superficial. Something I could heal with, just a pretty easy spell if he were still alive. Um, there's no like major broken bones. His lungs aren't punctured. What is if I open his mouth, does it look like he's been poisoned? Is there some weird discoloration?
I mean, you know that um he if it would have been poison that killed him, like he would have swallowed it. It's not necessarily going to cause like an allergic reaction in the mouth.
Mhm.
So you don't really like see anything in there because I mean, obviously, like the poison, like if you're gonna poison somebody, you wouldn't want it to just like leave an obvious trace in the mouth, you
Mhm.
know. And so I mean, you don't really see anything of note in there
Okay.
in the mouth itself.
So right now my thought is he he strangled to death since it didn't he would since he wasn't stabbed, bludgeoned, crushed, or harmed in that way. Um, could I roll Arcana to see if there's anything, um, or could somebody roll Arcana to see if there's anything magical that is still lingering on him, or if I cast like, do I have an identify anymore? I do not anymore. I lost that one.
Um. So I guess what are you? How are you going? Just currently surface level. With the inspection on him.
I don't want to desecrate the body, and so I'll do any like ritual or assist in any ritual that can detect or uncover or understand what happened to him. But I won't. If the question is, am I gonna like cut into his stomach and see the you know
Yeah.
annihilation style wriggling eels? No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that
So
yet.
so everything's surface level currently.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
I'm not ready to cut in. I will like palpitate and like feel for
okay.
feel his body, but
Yeah.
um
Okay, you've got a couple people helping you, so you can roll Arcana with
okay.
advantage. I mean, most of the people in the group have some Arcana knowledge, so.
All right. We're rolling.
Thumb is very generous.
Yeah. That's gonna be a 14.
Um, I mean, nothing pops out immediately.
Mhm.
Like you do know that like he was like all of the Lord's Alliance were, I mean, popping potions throughout the battle, like and handing them to people who needed them, which is why they went to Syl to get all of her potions in the first place. So you do see like a little bit of undigested magical residue from in that regards. But I mean that's all you could really determine it was some type of
I'll
magical
share that
liquid.
with the I'll share that with the party and just kind of narrate what I'm finding.
Well, with that, if they were sharing potions, how do we know one of them didn't slip the other one a potion in the middle of the battle for blood or something?
It seems possible. I don't have any solid theories right now.
Well, I don't either. I'm just saying it's a possibility instead of that potion maker.
What about a spell? Could have a spell killed him?
Do spells leave magical residue in any way?
Some of them do, but he seems to just have exactly what we would expect from a member of the Lord's Alliance who was fighting in a battle and had a whole bunch of buffs and was using whatever magic was at their disposal. So if there is some tainted aura on him, I'm not able to detect it, but I tried my best. Somebody may want to take a closer look.
Oh,
What about the invisible lady?
the what?
And the woman who
Lady that
turned
kind of-
invisible in the battle.
Oh yeah. Do you think that she might have done it?
I think we have to consider that possibility, but we need
I mean-
proof.
I mean, how do we prove an invisible lady goes
I
somewhere?
mean-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get what you're
Well, I
saying,
think-
but
I think we were the only ones that know that she disappeared. So
Yeah,
who
but-
knows where she went?
yeah, that's gonna be the big marker. Is
She could still be around, right? I mean,
yeah, she could be walking the streets right now for all we know.
He could be in this very room.
Wait,
maybe
what?
we should all start checking our stuff before we eat and drink.
Nah, just
Huh?
drink it. Death be death. I get what you're saying. I
Idea.
guess our issue is since he's very, gung ho, it seems like he wants blood no matter. We need to give him it seems that we need to give him something to take his rage out on. Now that's probably not right all the time or correct for us to really do, but I don't think we're going to save the potion maker unless we give him something else to inflict his rage on.
What I can think
But I
of
mean-
is whoever gave
Yes,
him the potion in the middle of combat.
Yeah, I mean, but with what you're saying is we could give him all the information we know about the invisible lady and say that it might be her and maybe he turns his attention to her.
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Because from what we've gathered so far, he has not died from what we can tell is any physical wound, and it doesn't seem probable that magic killed him, but that's not impossible. So poison still seems like the most likely option, or some other I guess poison
attack?
substance. You, unless we
was a big
autopsy, which probably isn't the best idea, we would probably assume not because of his age, just being younger. But that, I mean, unless, yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. But I
don't know.
I think the best thing is mentioning the invisible lady, because that's very possible that she could have poofed and was like, "Well, I'm taking somebody else out with me," and saw her opportunity of switching a potion. I mean, she was kind of like witchy, magical vibes. She could have a potion of poison on her.
Yeah, I don't know. Just an idea.
I just don't know. Would Would poison
gonna
leave
kill-
like weird veins or anything like that?
But you know how crazy
Probably
it's
just
gonna
sends
sound
them
selling
poison.
them. An invisible lady did this.
Well, I mean, she wasn't invisible the whole time, Skag.
Well,
We
she
saw her
wasn't
first.
like
We can
fighting,
But
tell.
if they never saw her, saying some
Yeah, but we
invisible
can tell
lady,
them what she looks like and everything, and what we know of her powers. That way, they have somewhat of an understanding of what she is and kind of looks like. I mean,
She
people
did
can
say
all.
she would exact her revenge.
That is true. She did say that. She could have thought that they would give us one of the health potions, saying that we were literally just in the battle and we need to heal. Maybe she was hoping one of us would take the poison.
If I were her, I don't know if I would care who takes the poison so long as somebody does.
Exactly, as long as she gets somebody in the end. Because we did kill her son. A son for a son. That could be.
Oh,
That makes a little bit more sense than it being random.
oh, interesting. Didn't think of that.
So, from what I'm going to say we gathered here is that he probably did definitely die of poison. And now we just need to find out who. And yeah, that lady is a very good option. Is he there with us while we're talking about this?
No, I mean it's just like
Okay.
they just allowed you to get all to go back there.
Yeah, I didn't know if he would like come with us. Just or anything.
No, I mean
Okay.
you guys could go get him if you wanted, but he didn't, and he chose
So-
not to.
As a group, what do we think? Is this what we want to propose as a possibility, and then continue our investigation into it? Because it seems very viable.
I agree. I say we pitch that and we try to hunt down traces of her. It's going to be hard at this far after the battle, but perhaps we can find some footprints, a trail, something like that.
That sounds good to me.
Well, are you able to see the intent of Nusku?
The intent of what? I'm sorry, what?
His intentions with the potion maker. Can you read
Um,
him where you can tell what his plans are?
I will mention this because I actually, when they were talking in the shop, it was very much the intention of
Like he wanted blood, right?
yes, he wanted her to die for killing his son.
And then we found out that she was being honest.
Correct.
correct.
So
From what we've
If it-
gathered, it's more than likely not her, like 100%,
Mhm.
unless she was like taken over and done, and she didn't have any knowledge.
But
know what
this
I
is
mean?
the thing, though. If he tries to kill her, do we protect her? Or do
I
we let
think
him
if we inform him of what we currently have come up with, I think it would be enough to turn his attention because there's no reason for, and I guess the other thing is there's no reason for the Lord to allow the potion maker to die because they still kind of need her. She's the only one in town. At
Makes
least this might, at the very least, give her more time, if that makes
Okay.
sense, until we can either prove or disprove our theory.
I will say this: if the Lord's Alliance turns against an innocent person, just for vengeance, I will stand against them. I don't expect anybody to, we can all make our decisions and let chips fall where they may, but that goes against
Well-
anything that I believe in.
Maybe we should all talk to Vanya, or some of us talk to Vanya by herself. That
Might
way we
not-
can tell her.
That'd be a good idea. Separate the emotion from the situation a little bit.
Just in case.
I think it'd probably be best to inform her first by herself then, and then use her to try to help us inform
Since she knows him.
him. Yes. And she's kind of, I'm guessing, the higher up in the situation, so she can hopefully control the situation better than what we could ever. So, who wants to go talk to her?
Oh,
I suppose I'll be part of that.
all the Lord of Alliance members, huh?
Yeah. But do we want to all go in, or do we just want to take like 3 of us and talk about it, or do we?
Oh,
you
I
said
think
kinda
you and,
like
I think you and Cole probably should go. You're the better talkers.
You got the most savvy.
Probably maybe Morning Lord.
he's not a member?
Oh, he's
That's
not.
gonna be yeah,
Nope.
Oh, what about the elf?
Elidor.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
could.
I'll go.
Yeah, all 3 of us can go, or it can just be me and Cole. It doesn't matter. Let's take the 3 of us and go talk to her quick.
All right.
You got. I guess what are you guys gonna do in the meantime? Are you just gonna chill out in the waiting room or something?
I don't got anything else to do, so might as well just like chill out and wait. Eat some biscuits and drink some tea.
Alright, let's. I'm gonna turn to Cole and so let's go talk to her then and see what she thinks of our thoughts so far.
Hi, let's make it happen.
Zvanya, right?
Yeah, that's her name.
Okay.
Okay. We will. This is actually probably a pretty good stopping point.
Good.
Oh, I'm
Um,
gonna write that as my notes.
and we will pick it up next week with you guys, talking with Vanya, telling her what you were able to discern. But yeah, we will pick it up next week, guys.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh, yeah!
Thanks everyone for coming out to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons. It seems like we get out of the frying pan and end up in the fire. We fought a whole bunch of dudes, and now we're trying to solve a mystery of who poisoned the Loxodon. Come back next week on Monday, and we will continue the stories. As always, I upload this on my YouTube channel, but you can find me just by following or looking up Pretend Object, and I have a playlist there with all of the D&D sessions that I've been a part of. Except for the first one. The first one, I didn't have permission yet to stream it live, so like the very, very beginning is not there, but you didn't really miss a whole lot there. But anyways, peace out, stay dude, and until next time, bye.